Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Fpl Rondo, and what we're going to be going into today is my Game Week 1 review. Now this is being recorded prior to the Manchester United versus Wolves fixture this evening on the Monday. Just because of my schedule, I need to get this recorded in advance so I can get this video out at a decent time, either during the game, later, or if not tomorrow, which would be the Tuesday. So that's just for context there. But as of now, I have had a great week. A lot of points have been scored, and I think I've got a great baseline going into Game Week 2 and onwards, with some differential picks in there as well that a lot of people have actually been picking up on after great performances in Game Week 1. But we're going to go over all of that and potential transfers going into the next game weeks in this video, so stay tuned and enjoy. So this is the team as it stands. We've got 67 points with 2 players to play in Onana and Rashford for Manchester United tonight. So going through the defence, we've got Estepinian and Ben Chilwell both doing a fantastic job in that Game Week 1, getting 7 points each. Estepinian somehow getting a goal conceded against him, a yellow card. Just getting the assist, but managing those 3 bonus points. It's just Estepinian things, and very, very happy for that he's in my team going through the rest of the weeks. He is just a phenomenal player, alongside Ben Chilwell, who we did expect him to be very attacking this pre-season based off of that pre-season that we've seen. He was getting into very advanced positions, and that showed. He got the assist, he was getting crosses in all the time, he was basically playing in that left wing position, and then he even had a goal disallowed. So there could have been so many more points on the board for Ben Chilwell this game, and unfortunately it was not meant to be. Gabriel, I am a bit disappointed with, only getting about 10 minutes in that last game against Nottingham Forest, but still came on. And with Timber being injured and potentially out for a few months now, after there's been some signs that he's damaged his ACL, that could definitely increase Gabriel's minutes and push Arteta back into a normal formation that he's used to. And hopefully we do see Gabriel come back into that starting 11 for Arsenal going forward, as they did look a bit shaky, even against a team like Nottingham Forest. So hopefully that increases Gabriel's minutes, and in turn increases their chance of a clean sheet, because of how much of a solid wall he is in that defence for Arsenal. So it's not all hope is lost with him, and I will be holding on to him. I do think he will be playing most games going forward, and I don't think there's much to worry about. Salah, again, just like Ben Chilwell in that Liverpool-Chelsea game, had a goal disallowed, and it was just devastating for myself owning both of those assets in one game. The highs and lows of scoring a goal, then having it disallowed due to VAR offside, and then the same again, but with even more points on the board. It was just insane, but it happens. It's FPL, and you've just got to accept it and move on. So hopefully we've got all of our bad luck out of the way in Game Week 1, but we'll have to see. Saka, absolutely fantastic, getting 10 points in the first week. As I said, I am expecting him to be potentially the top goal scorer, well, the top point scoring midfielder in FPL this season, and it's showing there with his 10 points straight off the mark. So very happy with his performance, and I do think that he will be a key part of that Arsenal attack going forwards. We've seen it last season, we're seeing it again this season, how pivotal he is to that Arsenal team, and I'm really excited to see what he can produce in the coming weeks. Marcus Rashford again is playing later on today, but hopefully he can get a goal or an assist just to get himself off the mark and get into some form going into the next few game weeks. That would be absolutely fantastic. Eze, out of all the 6.5 million mids I could have picked, he was potentially the worst one. Again, I did put Solly March in my original draft, and I wish I kept it now, because he ended up getting a goal and 9 points, I believe it was, but it wasn't meant to be. I'm stuck with Eze, and I do think that if I do make a transfer this week, if not next week, it will be Eze to another 6.5 million midfielder, assuming price changes don't affect that too much. We will have to see. But yeah, no, I mean, even if he does end up staying, it's not the end of the world. Going to the strikers now. So we've had Nicholas Jackson. 1 point for him in this game, because obviously he got that yellow card. He did play the full game. He was looking very, very good. He was getting a lot of shots off. His positioning was incredible, and he's got such good pace. So I think those through ball runs behind the defense are going to be fantastic for him this season, and assuming he can get that delivery and service from that stacked midfield of Chelsea, and it looks like they're actually getting that Lavia guy from Southampton as well. It will just increase their midfield even more. So yeah, Jackson's going to be getting a lot of service this season, and he's going to get into great positions and probably will be scoring a lot of goals. And as the fixtures get better for him going forwards, it's only going to be up from here. And I'm not even slightly disheartened by that blank. I do think it is such a positive performance from him, so there's no issues for me. He will be staying in my team, absolutely. Haaland did Haaland things again. The robot does magic for everyone on FPL. His ownership is now above 90%, so 14 million might have been a bit too cheap for him after all. But yeah, everyone had him captained. I'm assuming if you didn't, then you missed out on some big points here. But yes, 26 points. You can't go wrong. Erling Haaland, thank you very much. And then João Pedro. He was a bit of a risk for me. 5.5 million. Was a minute's risk. Wasn't too sure if he would start in that Brighton 11. But due to that pre-season he did make it into that starting 11. Actually won a penalty and took it as well, and of course did the main thing and scored it. So great performance from Pedro in his first game, and hopefully he can keep that up, because as I said in a previous video, I do believe that his minutes will be based on his performances in the first few weeks. So if he can keep this up going through game week 2, 3, 4 and get a bit of form running, then I do think he will be a key member in that starting 11 for Brighton, and will be a fantastic asset to own at 5.5 million. So finally going over the bench, no points were lost here, which was absolutely fantastic. For the outfield players on the bench, we've got Chukwuemeka, Kabore and Bayer all getting 1 point each, and then Matt Turner, the goalkeeper for Nottingham Forest, getting 2. So yeah, no points were lost, just 5 points overall on the bench, which is absolutely fantastic. Very happy with my decisions there. Rashford and Onana obviously still to play. Really excited to see how many points I can get from those this evening, and hopefully my rank can just push up that a little bit more. If I could even make it into like the top 1.2, 1.1 million going into the end of the game week, that would be a win for me. So there's a lot of positive information to take from this team going into game week 2. I'm very happy with my choices. We've got João Pedro getting off the mark straight away. We've got Estepinian and Chilwell getting attacking returns from their defensive positions in game week 1, which is essential for myself in making my decisions as to who to keep and who to sell. I'm very happy with all my decisions here. My only one that, again, I'm a bit unsure of is Eze, as I did think that after watching him, and I didn't watch the full game, I do think I've made a bit of an error. I do think that Mbeumo, March could have been better options, but with Eze being on penalties, free kicks and corners and everything else, that could very well pay off. It is dependent on whether they get into a bit more form in the coming days, in the coming week, because they were playing a Sheffield United team that has just been promoted, and they could only get 1 goal. So again, I didn't watch the full game, so I could be wrong here in my judgment, but I do think Eze underperformed to what should have really been expected. But I'm not too concerned, and I'm not going to make some drastic changes going into game week 2 unless I'm absolutely certain in my decision that someone else is better than him for those game weeks onward. So yeah, as I mentioned, I do think that Mbeumo and March are good options as replacements potentially for Eze. I do think also one that I haven't talked about is Diaby for Aston Villa, playing in that striker role just behind Watkins. He had a fantastic game and he absolutely lit up that Aston Villa team when they did get destroyed by Newcastle. I do know that, but hopefully in the coming weeks, I do believe that they are a great team and they just need to find that bit of form. Diaby just looks great, so I think he is one to watch as well. I'm going to be monitoring him over the next few weeks, though, because I do think that was such a shaky start from Aston Villa. I'm not too convinced by them just yet. So, yeah, we're going to have to see how that pans out. But March, Mbeumo, Diaby are all options I'm definitely considering as replacements for Eze if the form doesn't improve in the near future. So that's been the team for game week 1. 67 points with 2 to go in Onana and Rashford, who have both been confirmed starting in this game this evening, which is great news. But overall, very satisfied with the team. Jackson getting that 1 point, not too phased by it. I do think he will come good in the coming weeks. I think he's got a lot of points and goals to be made over the next few game weeks, which is great. Pedro coming in clutch with that 5.5 million attacking option, getting a goal on his first game for Brighton in the Premier League. Haaland getting crazy goals doesn't affect the team too much because everyone has him. But yeah, Chilwell and Estepinian being the highlights for me, both getting attacking returns in game week 1 from their defensive positions is absolutely huge. And I do think they are starting already to show why they are the top defensive picks this year. But no, hopefully we can sort of capitalize on this and push ourselves even higher into game week 2. And hopefully we can roll that transfer to make our options a bit more open going into game week 3. But we'll discuss that later on in the week. So I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button if you haven't already, and I will see you next week or at the end of the week.